Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Larry Loke. This is Public Discord. Thank you for joining us. Today, we have a cast of different people that are going to share their ideas in regards to local, national, as well as international topics and issues currently going on in our society. Today, we have Jizzo from the Shy City Cypher, Brim the
Yo, what's up?
Forever Man, San Diego Bars, Blizz G, and of course, Oak Summers. How we all doing today?
Yeah,
Good.
All
Yeah.
right, all right. So I shot you the notes about today's discussion. All right, so we're gonna start off with the presidential debate. Now I'm gonna put my little 2 cents in, and I'm gonna let y'all run with it. But the first one was a bunch of horse shit. I'm gonna be honest, man. It was just people talking over each other, and there was no real. The second one showed me a lot more. And in saying that, I'm gonna ask you guys, what did you guys think about the debates? I'm gonna start with Brim. Brim, what did you think about them?
Yeah, you know what? I thought the second debate was a lot more presidential. They were able not to like scream at each other and accuse each other. Well, I guess they did accuse each other of everything, but it was a lot more presidential.
Okay. Ms. Bars, what you think about it?
can I just like be completely like frank and honest? Like for real.
What's up?
Fuck them people. Like I don't I don't subscribe. Like I don't know. It was like after the first debate, I didn't really watch the first debate too much because I already knew it was gonna be like a bunch of bullshit. It was just gonna be pretty much a screaming match. You got Donald Trump always trying to gangster some shit. And you got Joe Biden. It just came off real clownish to me. So I ain't
It turned you off. Basically.
For real. I didn't even watch that shit because to me it was like a waste. I'm not gonna say it was a waste of my intellect. Because I remember when Trump first ran against Hillary, I was incarcerated, and you know they had spats and stuff back and forth then, but you know it was a little bit more easy to swallow. It's like now it's so much fake shit going on. I intellectually can't subscribe to that shit.
Okay, Blizz, what did you think about the debates, man?
Personally, man, I have to agree with Miss Bars on that. Like, fuck both of them when it came to the debates. I did watch it, however, it was entertaining to me. The first one, man, was like a grumpy old man sequel. You know what I'm saying? Like all they was doing was going back and forth. Nothing got accomplished. You know, they asked a specific question and all they did was talk about a topic that they wanted to talk about. You know, the second one, like the Forever Man said, you know, it was a lot more presidential, but still I don't feel anything got accomplished. They basically just had their talking points, regardless what the question was. They looked down at the card and had their talking points, and they were going to get it through whether it got pushed or not.
So they were so what it sounds like is they were kind of still shooting out a message. Like they basically, it still seemed like campaigning.
To an extent, without campaigning, though. I mean, they were more arguing back and forth. You know.
Okay.
I mean, can I get 30 seconds? Can I rebut to that? Well, if he's gonna rebut, can I rebut to that? I mean, come on, man. At some point, you got to move on.
Okay, let's speaking of moving on, let's speak to our next guest. Oak, man, what'd you think about the debates?
I really think anything about it, man. At this point of the game, it's simple as this: you know who you're dealing with, no matter what they say. Who's undecided at this point? We're a week out, 2 weeks out. Who's undecided? So I mean, I think it worked out for the ratings. I mean, as far as whoever their sponsors are, but I already tuned out because I already knew what it was.
Okay. I mean that makes sense. What about you, Jizzo? What you think about them?
As far as the debates, I think I'm like that. sort of like how she said that she didn't watch the first one because she was already like knew it was gonna be some bullshit. I watched the first one and it was just a complete like shit show. And so when the second one was on, bro, you know, I'll be shaking and moving. So I was like doing some stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna still go watch it, but it wasn't something like I was so excited to watch it because, you know, that whole committee, the debate committee, they still had a lot to work on. I mean, you figure we're in 2020 and we're having like national presidential, you know, debates, and they still don't have it under control. They let one person completely just disrespect the rules for it and talk over people. And I mean, it was just like, you think that somebody that's in a position of power like that would be more composed and would be more, you know, I mean, picture you're sitting down with somebody that has the keys to the briefcase that's going to set off the missile, you know what I mean? That whole story. And it's like, you have it in somebody's hands that's acting like a baby on TV. It's like, I don't trust none of that, to be honest. And, you know, I meet some cats that say they've never voted in their life, which is stupid, but you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's taking this a different way, but from what it seems, you know, to on the media, it's just a bunch of trash, man. I don't know what to believe. Like, I don't know.
Okay.
Really confusing right now. All these times I really
disconnected from the process almost.
And mix in so now sprinkle a little bit of COVID on that, and sprinkle some riots, and then mix in some, you know, innocent black men getting murdered by police, and everyone's just in an uproar. It's just like, and we're still trying to deal with, you know, it's crazy, man.
There's a lot of shit coming at society right now, man. I mean, it's crazy. It's like a shit storm, and it man, it's crazy. Yeah. Okay, so all right, so that's how we felt about the debates, right? All right. So where you think it's gonna go? Like, as far as Oak said, we already voted, or in our head we already know which way we're going, right? What's the better look
No.
for society? We already know. I'm gonna be honest, right? We got the angry orange man and we got the guy with dementia, right? That's what we got. There's no switching the cards. You see what I'm saying? There's no switching the cards. There's no we're gonna get fucking Superman. We're gonna have fucking George Clinton come down on the mothership. Ain't that we got these two motherfuckers to choose from, right? So in saying that, what do you see the outcome going to be? And if you want to put in your opinion as well, be my guest. Blizz, you know what, Blizz? You go, man. You've been quiet, man.
I mean, I don't know. I'm my whole adult life since I got my voting rights back, I was like, it's always been the lesser of two evils. Wait 1 second, man. It's always been the lesser of two evils. And it's like, I mean, for such a technically advanced country and advanced country that we're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we should be having two candidates, man, in which we can't decide. Now, you talking about which way it's finna go. I mean, you either gonna look like you're gonna vote for Trump, you're gonna vote for Biden, you're gonna vote against Trump, or you're gonna vote against Biden. I mean, that's the only four ways to look at it, regardless on how you cast your vote. You think this country can take 4 more years of Trump?
It's I'll put it like this. One of the candidates looks like he damn near has dementia. Now the person behind him, who's going to be up to bat next, has already said that 30 days after she gets in office, she's going to try to regulate gun control. So I'm not looking at the first string. I'm looking at the second string. You feel me? Like, so you see what I'm saying? So when I look at certain situations.
What about if you look at the info that's right there in the first string, where one of the candidates is refusing to denounce white supremacy groups? It's right there, and
He has.
we're talking second. We're talking
no.
second string. It's right here in our face right now. He's saying
But
there's a lot of racism, man.
But the first strings also put forth the First Step Act. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that, you know, I'll put it like this, man. I've seen to where people that I would never have said that they're at least thinking about certain things, like when Ice Cube brought his platform to that, it was more, to me, on a thoughtful level. Like, these people, I've seen them, they, first and foremost, I have never heard them talk about the drug war. Never. If anything, they always talk about getting people off because of the drug war. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing. Now, I know when I look at Biden and Kamala, they locked up a whole lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, I can deal with a shit show for 4 more years. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the Rauner issue with J.B. Pritzker, right? Everybody was like, get Rauner out of office, right? And as soon as we got Rauner out of office, yeah, we got some legal weed. But besides that, man, they went in, especially on my pockets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even if it's like in basketball, a transitional year, I'd rather have a certain transitional year opposed to a different transitional year. Now, I've spoke too much already on the subject. I apologize, fellas and lady. I didn't mean to. I was asked a question, so I'm going to answer it. Brim, would you like to talk about the choices that we have, sir?
I absolutely don't like any of the choices. Let's start off with Joe Biden. Joe Biden has a history of lying. I mean, this dude's been in politics for 40 years. They got this guy on camera taking other people's speeches, plagiarizing, all type of stuff. And it's a history of it. It's a documented history of it. So I'm not the biggest fan of documented liars. Kamala Harris is another funny one. Yeah, she did lock up a whole bunch of black people. I mean, basically, I'm torn in between 2 choices. These are a bunch of liars that I don't really believe in. So I feel like, you know, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. I would rather deal with Donald Trump than to deal with some pathological liars who's on record for fucking lying. Excuse my language.
Damn. Okay.
And Jizzo, about the racist statement, real quick. I've never had no issues with no Proud Boys. No boys have no hood. Anywhere I went, I've never had no problem with racists pulling no guns on me or nothing like that.
I mean, just to
cops and gangs. That's it. I don't know no Proud Boys. They didn't pull up on me. At no point. Cops and gangbangers. Those are my issues.
I mean, just to interject, I mean, I don't think you're gonna find too many Klansmen running through the hood. But just speaking per se from I'm out of state, man. I'm in Wisconsin. Trump held one of his super spreader events up here. I'm not even talking about last night. I'm talking about the one, maybe it was the one Pence went to in Janesville. Janesville is the home of the Klan in Wisconsin. It's where the Imperial Wizard lives. You know what I'm saying? That's known for that. So it was no surprise to anybody up here, let's say Milwaukee, Madison, why they threw the rally in Janesville and didn't choose to come here to a bigger venue. Because they wanted to go where they were accepted and where they had all the support.
Yeah. And bro, just to offer what you were saying, bro, because it was taking me a second. My headphone was tweaking, but I heard what you said now. You're right. Nobody in the sheet has ever ran up on you, but those people that are under the sheets, are the people that are calling the police. People here at the park. They're the people that are the people that work in our politics, in our government, and they
They're
go
your
somewhere
doctors.
and they go back home and they do put on that sheet. So you do come across people with sheets. You just haven't seen them with a sheet on, you know?
I mean, they the doctors, the lawyers, the police, the
That's real
judges.
shit. Look at all these videos with all these Karens and with that whole thing, and with just there's a lot of, and they're stepping up and they're really bold nowadays for some reason.
But see, I take that back to the laws that you allow to be put forth. You know what I mean? Because you didn't have certain laws, you couldn't bother nobody. But they implement laws because, and then Karen can use these laws to fuck you over.
Well, you know what? That's why a lot of Karens get slapped. And back to that video of the girl in the
And
gas
then you
station.
go to jail, and then you're part of the cycle, brother. That's the problem.
Well,
What is? Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the definition of a Karen? Ain't that the lady that was trying to bust on them people at the
At the barbecue.
calling
calling the police on some bullshit.
okay.
Motherfuckers calling the police on some bullshit, you know, because a little simple infraction, but then it escalates because you got law enforcement involved, and instead of somebody just writing you a ticket and keeping it pushing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how
Okay,
I look at. That's how I look. Anyway, man. I'm sorry, guys.
Can I? Okay.
Yes,
Hold
ma'am.
on,
Continue. No. Continue. This is a discussion. That's what we're here for.
Because I just kind of wanted to piggyback off of the what's this nigga name? The Brim for. Oh, sorry, no disrespect to you. The Brim Forever Man. So I understand that you as a black man, you've never experienced racism. You're trying to tell me you've never had a point in
What
your
kind of
life.
racism? Direct racism or indirect racism?
Period. Because Reddit
levels.
is direct. Hold on. Whether it's direct or indirect, it's still racism, right? So it's maybe a more watered down version of racism, but it's still racism. Now, one thing I do want to say is I've experienced racism on both sides. I've experienced racism all my life because I didn't find out until I was older that I'm black and Latino.
You're Afro-Latina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at first, when I was growing up and people used to call me crackers and things of that nature, I couldn't understand why, because at one point in time I said, well, I look like y'all, I dress like y'all. So as I got older, I've always been black. So I've experienced multiple forms of racism from school age to an adult. As a matter of fact, the last time I experienced, I guess what you call direct racism, I was at a march in 2018 where we got cut off by like 50 police officers, and I don't know where the fuck these people came from. They was on a fucking really had to get on my knees and put my hands behind my head because I had 8 to 9 laser tags on my fucking stomach. I almost died that day. So it's I just kind of find it hard to believe. And then I also have to remember I live a very different lifestyle from most people. So I just kind of find it like really hard to believe that you, as a black man, and no offense to anybody here that's white, you know what I'm saying? I'm being 100. That's developed in white man structure, has never experienced any form of racism unless you the police. Now, if you the police, you know what I'm saying? Then I could understand that, you know what I'm saying? Because they be giving niggas slides and shit, you feel me? Maybe that's why you've never experienced, you feel me? direct racism, but I just find it very, very hard as a black. Hold on. I find it.
Part real quick. Oak seems like he wants to chime in on the subject. Oak, you want to chime in on this real quick?
Can I respond?
Oh, I apologize, Brim. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I want to.
Yeah, let me respond real quick. So,
yes, sir.
Of course, I've experienced I've experienced a lot of different racism. Of course, basically, what I'm saying is in this presidential election, there is an issue between direct racists and indirect racists. So they're like, choose between your direct racists and your indirect racists. That's all I'm saying. It's two choices between two races. One is directly racist. One is indirectly racist. So pick which one.
I don't.
You want your direct racist, or do you want your indirect racist? Which one? Which one you want?
No, I don't want none.
Wait, stop.
Pause.
Well, I mean, which?
Stop.
That's the choices that they're giving us.
Stop. Y'all worried about the wrong shit. I want to direct racist because I want to direct everything. I want to know. Because if y'all want to talk racism, we can talk about how the police empowered these fucking Latin kings and tried to shut down the niggas during the pandemic. I don't give a fuck about racism. It's about tribalism. I need to know my races. I need to know if I cross 55th at Ashland that I'm in Motown and the GDs ain't welcome there. But if I make it to 59th, they can't cross the street. I need to know who my enemy is. I don't need a motherfucker to stab me in the back because they was close enough to hug me. Now, even with that being said, you talk about Democrats, you talk about bigger government, more policy. I got it, daddy. I don't need another motherfucking man to tell me how to move. You know what I'm saying? I need smaller government so I can make better decisions for myself. The guidelines are there. Everything y'all talking about is money. If you talk about police, if everybody on your door has it the same way public housing has it, the same way schools have it, the same way every fucking liquor store has it. Niggas is just cheap and they want to cry. I don't give a fuck about none of that. What I care about is,
yeah, we know that.
Can you come out here and can I move how I want to move as a man? Once you start putting tags on yourself, I'm a minority, I'm a gay, I'm a woman, I'm a what, you're gonna move on your natural disposition. The problem is everybody's going globalist because everybody wants one world order to protect them, but they also want a hug from them. That's not gonna happen. That's not going to happen. The police not going to protect you and hug you. You got to be able to move and how you move as a tribe. You know what I'm saying? Because all politics are local. Your local government is your tribe. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they do on a federal level doesn't matter unless it affects you locally. You know what I'm saying? Private prisons affected us heavily, and that was Biden. He made a government mandate that everybody has to have a mandatory 93% capacity rate in the prisons. So now things that wasn't crime became crime. Were drugs bad? Yeah. Was violence bad? Yeah. But now all of a sudden you go into jail for loose cigarettes and pissing in alleys because they got to fill a
No,
quota.
you get to die. You die for loose cigarettes, bro. You die for loose cigarettes.
That's cool too. But at the end of the day, motherfuckers ain't stop selling loose squares. So you still got to say, man, these are the policies that Biden did. That's the indirect racism to make old people feel good and make girls be able to call the police at 2 in the morning because she had a dream. But I don't give a fuck about that. That's why I don't give a fuck about Biden. You got to see, and I'm not saying that Trump is a good candidate. I'm saying Trump is the cheating husband who tries to.
His racism is direct.
This is the dumbest.
Look, guys. Okay. If we're not going to talk about, we got off the subject, man, and I really apologize, man, but people seem passionate in it. So I wanted these people to just talk on it. We already talked about the president debate. Anybody else want to chime in regards to the president, how they feel and the choices right now? If not, let's move on to a different subject. I feel we went a little, it was good. You know what I'm saying? We got points across, but we need to move on. You know what I mean? Blizz, do you got anything to say in regards to any of the there was a lot of subjects hit that whole transition right there, bro.
There was. I mean, you can break it down real minimally, man, and say that the president doesn't even matter, man. It's the Senate and the House and the legislature, man, that make the laws. I mean, they control how everything moves. Dude can sign bills all he wants. He can sign executive orders all he wants. But if it doesn't push through the Senate or the House, man, it's not going to do nothing. And I mean, we've had a long outstanding fight in this country from either side, red and blue, red and blue. It's like pick a side, and you know what I'm saying. The Senate and the House have been controlling shit forever, man. It's the same 80-year-old motherfuckers in there that's making these laws and that's passing this shit. So it doesn't matter if me, you know what I'm saying, the gentleman that just spoke, Jizzo, yourself, you know, Ms. Bars, or Brim the Forever Man was in the White House, bro. We'd be fighting the Senate and the House to push our agenda anyway because they have their own agenda.
Okay, so speaking of that, let's go local now. Okay, I'm gonna get everybody time to speak about the local politics since we're talking about that. For the Illinois area, we have Willie Wilson versus Dick Durbin. Okay, anybody have any ideas in regards to that?
Sure. Dick Durbin is a career politician. When you look at what each person brings to the table, and I'm not saying Dick Durbin is a bad dude. What I'm saying is Willie Wilson has been somebody that's actively been trying to support Chicago in its interests for the last 15 years, maybe. And in all that point, all that you're saying is really can't talk. Here's the thing about politics, and it goes back to what he was just saying about the House and the Senate. So all I'm saying about that is, if you look at somebody whose intent is good, if you look at somebody who has, okay, let me rephrase that. J.B. Pritzker has absolutely no business experience, but he's the governor. He's a trust fund kid. He's a billionaire, the heir to the Hyatt Hotel empire. No business experience, and people, but he said free weed and people voted. Now your tax is higher than ever. You have you got Lori Moe, you got Lori Lightfoot with no political experience, no business experience, but now she's running the corporation in Chicago. You have, but when you had Rauner was a self-made businessman, and he's saying let's balance the budget, and people pushed him out because they couldn't get free free child care because the babysitting checks were slow. You know what I'm saying? So they rather pay higher taxes, lower services, just to take care of their kids. At some point, you have to be able to say, you know what, I'm gonna tighten my belt for 6 months so I can be straight next year. And that's something that liberals just don't do. That's something the Democratic Party doesn't do. They say, okay, we'll tax the people who are earning more so that we can take care of people who are crying so they can do less. It's an entitlement situation, and Chicago's been Democrat my whole life. And most of the time, Illinois has a Republican governor our whole life. You had the Thompsons.
Most of the time, hey, to be fair, bro, most of the time our governors get locked up.
Yeah, that's true, right? Like I said, Thompson got locked up, Groves got blocked up, but and that's goes party lines. Both Democrat and Republican governors get locked up in Illinois. We feds happen, but when you talk about local government, there's been so few people in positions of power. Everybody's active. Everybody's let's do a march with single moms against violence that her sons are doing, and I'll get elected. There's very few times that Illinois has somebody in politics, which is the business of business, that understands business, that understands how to balance the checkbook, that understands personnel, that understands that your cabinet.
Pardon. Let me just hold on. See, that's why, like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna let y'all know I'm voting for Willie. You know what I mean? I literally, that guy puts his own money up to try to talk about things that need to be heard. I think a lot of people don't take him seriously because he's country, but that man is self-made, and I think that people would learn a lot from him, to say the least. Ms. Barnes, would you like to interject in regards to that, or Jizzo maybe?
You gotta unmute
you're
her.
Mute. Ms. Barnes, you're mute. You're mute.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
I ain't never fucking voted. I don't trust none of these fucking people. I think they all a bunch of dickheads. I do. I'm just being honest. I swear to God, I ain't never voted in my fucking life. I don't even know what the fuck that shit look like. Now I work the polls and all type of other shit. I don't trust these fucking people. Like I can't even cap like I do. I can't even like say like I just like if I did vote, if I made a conscious, I'm just being 100. Like what the fuck y'all want from me? If I made a conscious decision, I don't trust none of this shit. If I make a conscious decision to go and vote, you know what I'm saying? I would say Willie only because there were other campaigns that I worked on.
Oh, so you actually worked in the political realm?
Yes. I
Okay.
did,
Okay. Well, see, I did that. Even though you may not have voted, you knew you heard the
Yeah.
players in the game. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll
I'm okay.
support
Okay.
their ass from the back. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
if
but
I,
you're just not
like,
gonna
I'm
vote for
dead
their
ass.
ass.
Like,
Okay. Okay.
for real.
No,
I
it's
just
cool. It's cool.
And the thing is, this is the other thing too. Like with me, like people literally have to not tell me that I'm working for somebody. So like I literally like walked into a situation with an organization that I was doing activist work for. I get to talk on. They're like, yeah, we need you to help. They basically lied, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna go help them. I get there.
You worked with Willie. You work with Willie. What?
No, I didn't. I didn't work. I didn't work with Willie's campaign.
Okay.
We worked with. I'm not gonna lie. We worked with his opposition,
Ooh.
but which was,
Okay.
I believe at the time, Jeanette Taylor, because he was running for 20th Ward alderman. No, or was he?
But,
It's been a few years, but long story short, I mean, Willie Tactics is Willie Tactics. He got money and he like here goes some money, vote for me, and people like, you know. But I mean, from what I've heard, you know, I've heard like mixed views on Willie Wilson. Like some people are like, you know, he would be a good person to have in office because he does have the interest, the overall interest of, you know, the people in mind. And then some people are like, he's a money hungry bloodsucker. So it's like, you know, from what I've seen, though, he's probably one of the people that I've seen on a political side that even though his campaigns are a little ratchet, I believe he may have the best.
Get your booty to the pole. That was a little ratchet too now, San Diego. Get your booty to the pole. Get your booty to the pole. Get your booty. Come on. But anyway, no, sorry. I just gotta get it a little light here.
You won't keep it 100 shit. I rather motherfucker tell the truth than I ain't mad at all.
All right. Anybody else got any input in regards to the Willie Wilson versus Dick Durbin?
No,
Yeah,
I'll just lastly, just one thing I was just going to say. I do know that Willie's organization, when COVID hit, was instrumental in providing PPE to, you know, his organization provided PPE, I think, in Inglewood and some of the South Side neighborhoods. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, that's it, man. I don't want to. Y'all said enough about it.
Yeah,
Well, no,
I like
again,
when people,
and I didn't intend to be this, hey, Willie Wilson endorsement, you know what I mean? But just on my side, where I'm going to speak out is locally, and yeah, I really like him as a candidate opposed to Dick Durbin. You know, so I really appreciate it. It's nice that we can all agree on things, and sometimes, you know what I mean? But you know what? Speaking locally, I'm gonna let Blizz G, since he's out of the 608. If you had any candidates you want to speak in regards to, because I hope you share it in your area as well, you know, what can you say on your local level, man?
I mean, locally, man, we don't have any governor stuff or anything big like that going on, man. It's really the presidential elections. There's an alderman that's up, and I mean, they don't campaign around here. A lot of these run basically unopposed. You know what I mean? Like they sitting around. I mean, where I'm at specifically in Madison, man, you know, they'll have opponents, stuff like that. But where we running into problems, man, and this ties in kind of to like the pandemic stuff, man. Like our governor's put a lot of measures in place that have been everything he's done to try to keep the community safe, man, has been challenged in court by the Republicans and turned around by the Republican Supreme Court. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not surprised at all why our numbers up here through the roof. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. Not at all. And if we was a state like California or Texas, if we had the population of a state like California or Texas, we would be number one in the country in infections. Our state would.
So you're stating that because of the influx of numbers, it's because of them being reckless up there? I mean, basically,
absolutely, man. Because you got to look at. I mean, there's a lot of people that was in like the Waukesha area, man, and that's a notorious, like, you know, everybody knows you living out in Waukesha, man. You got money, you got big money. They talking about open up businesses. We going under. We can't live like this. No, man. It was people that couldn't sit in the house. They needed somewhere to drop their kids off so they could go day drink and go get their nails painted. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's little things like that. I'm not saying that stood for everywhere, because for the longest time, man, it was just Madison and Milwaukee that was leading the state with like infection rates. You understand what I'm saying? And then a lot of the rural counties, all the you know, restrictions they put in place didn't matter for the rural counties, because it's like they didn't have them problems.
But is that
but
more
now they got
of a
them problems?
But okay, so in my opinion, that's more of a social contract amongst the people, not a litigation for law enforcement to lock you up because you don't have a mask.
I mean, I don't think you should be locked up if I don't think you should be locked up for not wearing a mask. You know what I'm saying? But okay, if you want to be reckless like that, you should at least get fined. It should come out your pocket. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't take you to jail for that, but it should come out your pocket.
But we all know where fines go.
But look here, man, I'm gonna tell you like this. Let me tell you like this, Lo. When they did that, we had some elections earlier on in March. Actually, it was like the end of March, maybe beginning of April-ish. We had elections. This is during the lockdown. All right.
Mm-hmm. Which I was totally for, because we didn't know what that monster was gonna bring.
Right. But peep game, right? The governor's like, yeah, this is local stuff. Let's push it out a week or two so people can vote from home and mail it in. You have a gentleman, Robin Voss, who's part of the GOP. Now, it's perfectly safe to go to the polls. This dude shows up wrapped in a Tyvek suit with a gas mask on, duct tape around rubber gloves, and he's telling people they don't need no mask, no protection, no nothing to show up and vote. Live on the news, man.
Dude, and see, that's where we all got to be cautious. But now, you know what I'm saying?
So what you get is you get these low IQ folks that, oh, well, see, he done said it on the TV, so that means we can do it.
Well, shit, you had Lori Lightfoot telling everybody not to do a damn thing, and you had people out there partying. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the same thing. People are going to do what people do. You see what I'm saying? I think it's more of, it's just like people banging raw and then getting STDs, man. You know what I mean? We got to be better as a people, you know, to get ourselves out of.
But since you want to use that as an example,
you know, and in your area,
you want to use that as an example. But here's my thing, right? So you want to use the STDs as an example, right? Check this out. No, but check this out.
No. Let him ride. I want to hear this shit.
Okay.
Let's say you don't believe. Let's say you don't believe in wearing masks, right? Mm-hmm. So you're gonna walk around and give me the COVID, right? Let's say that's the case. You walk around passing on an infectious disease. Now, if you banging somebody knowingly with an STD, you can be charged with a felony for giving them an infectious disease.
Yes, sir.
However, you can give somebody the COVID just because you selfish and reckless, and then go home and kill the rest of your family too, and don't nobody care.
But we're all engaging. That's the thing. We're all engaging in this thing.
I got a question.
For example, I'm one of the fortunate ones. There's plenty of people who are fortunate who could work from home, maybe have a passive income. I see a lot of people in the service industry and a lot of service industry type businesses. There's been a lot more. I stay up north, and I see a lot of businesses shutting down too here. You know what I mean? It's not just affecting, it's affecting the different pockets of society differently. And we all got to figure
now,
out.
if everybody would have took this serious though, like, 6 months ago when we were doing the 30 or the 60-day lockdown, instead of going out and partying, like bucking the system, you dig what I'm saying? A lot of these businesses would be able to survive. What they're not able to survive is the revolving door shutdowns and the revolving door restrictions and limitations. I mean, we had businesses up here that was at 75% capacity that are now down to 25% again. There's no way you can survive that once for a period of time. You know what I'm saying? You can't survive that every couple of months over and over and over again. And that's what's going to continue to happen.
Yeah, but
I mean, that's history, that's science, bro.
Yeah, and that's where I think that people are. Nothing happens overnight, man. Some people don't. The frog in the pan, man, with the water. You know what I'm saying? You let a frog boil long enough, he's not gonna know he's boiling. You know what I mean? Because you start from zero and you turn the heat up. You know what I mean? And that's the scary part about this shit is a lot of cats here, at least, you know what I mean? Like, look. I go into it. If it's open air, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I'm not in the range, but I got people around me. So if I'm in a tight with people, especially some people coughing and shit like that, boom, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? But I'm not really freaking out. And now maybe I should. Maybe I'm the wrong one. You know what I mean? But I'm using the sanitizer, things like that. You know what I mean?
Sorry. I'm not, and it's not to say, I'm sorry, it's not to say that the shit is not serious, because obviously there are people that's dying from this shit. You know what I'm saying? But it was so much that came back from that shit in China about them apparently, I don't know how true the shit is, because I ain't gonna lie, I haven't done the research, but they're saying that this is some shit that they biologically constructed in a lab. I ain't gonna lie to you. When the first couple of cases of COVID hit the United States, and I seen that shit, I said to myself, that shit finna hit Chicago, and it's finna hit New York. And I'm gonna tell you why I also thought that. Because for the past few years or so, there has been a continuing trend, which is the Black Lives Matter trend, right? Where people, not just Black people, everybody is pretty much waking up under the Fuck the Police Act. So, I don't know if everybody remembers that period where everybody was getting tested for the ancestry shit, where you was sending blood work.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Yeah, and they was trying to figure out where the fuck you was from and shit like that. And then a few years after that was a big trend, we have this big ass, dumbass biological warfare.
Let's put on our tinfoil hats.
And it's people, because I'm not gonna lie, I think I had COVID in the beginning of the year because I was dating a gentleman at the time. He's locked up in the county. This was before COVID started taking a really big hit or whatever. You know what I mean? And it was like the COVID epidemic probably kicked up at like November of 2019. And then it became a real pandemic in, I want to say, January, February, but it really hit in March. So when my ex came home at the time, you know, you know, he just got out the county. You know how that shit go. So I did what I did with him, and then I got extremely fucking sick for 3 days. Like, I'm sick as hell. I'm throwing up and shit. I got chills and covers and shit like that. And within that 3 days, I was fine. This was before they started making COVID a real serious testing situation.
Oh yeah.
I say
I
that
mean,
to
I
say,
was.
hold on. No, wait. Can I finish real
Go
quick?
ahead, go ahead.
Yes,
I
man.
think-
But
I'm sorry.
we're reaching on the hour mark, so I want to get some more topics in real quick.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Oh, you just gonna let me finish?
No,
Okay.
go ahead. Just
Okay.
wrap it up with the bow.
I'm
Wrap it up with the
saying,
bow.
okay, I'm saying that to say this is that I honestly believe, and I'm not just saying that just to be saying that shit, because I personally went through a situation where on the STD side, I thought I had some shit that I couldn't get rid of because I went to a clinic and they fucking lied to me and fucked me over on some other shit. I honestly believe that it's a lot of shit. Seriously, it's a lot of shit that they not telling us about this shit. That's just like they're saying there's a specific type of coronavirus and it's only in Chicago. How? How the
Mutations.
fuck?
Oh.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, once
That
a virus
one-
happens, a virus is an organism and it grows and develops. That's the
Yeah,
scariest thing.
mutates.
Somebody with AIDS, hey, for anybody who doesn't know, somebody with AIDS can get another form of AIDS and hurt them harder. The viruses ain't no joke. That's why that sanitizer and strapping up's important, ladies and gentlemen. Public service announcement. Sorry guys, but we're good in regards to that.
Shout out to Trojan.
You know, hey, you know, Magnum, everybody else is helping bag them up. You know what I mean?
Bag them up.
You know, but okay. So I'm glad we could get some light out of that last subject. All right. Damn, I think we're done. You know what I'm saying? We talked about the COVID thing. We talked about the elections. We talked about Willie Wilson. I really appreciate you guys and having the time to speak your mind. If anybody wants to give a minute to shout out what they're doing or to plug whatever you want, you know, just don't be too harsh on the plug. But you know, depending on what you're plugging, I don't want to get arrested for. So no, I'm playing. So if I could start from the top and work my way down, 1 minute, San Diego bars. What would you like to say?
Right now I have a project that's out on YouTube. It's called Don't Cry When I'm Gone. You guys go check that out. It's under San Diego Bars. Also, I'm doing a relaunch for the Mary Kay line that I was selling or whatever. Well, it's his own line, but I'm doing a relaunch on that. And a video, I got it's an all-female video shoot cypher we'll be doing on Halloween. It's gonna be me, Chocolate Chip, Chocolate Chip Queen. Shout out to Molika and Molly Baby. They're all gonna be there. There's another artist by the name of Miss Muffy. She got a lot of stuff going on. I'm pretty much just, if you guys need advertising or marketing advertising or whatever, I'm still doing that. And I'm also relaunching my podcast, which is called Thoughts Anonymous. I know a lot of people, yes, it's called Thoughts Anonymous. I know a lot of people aren't like real happy with the name, but I launched it because
I was afraid to hit the like button because I had my wife to whoop my ass.
No. You and your wife, no, seriously, you and your wife sit down and listen to it. That kind of
keep it for the podcast. Keep it for the podcast. You went over your minute. Keep it
okay,
for the
that's
podcast.
Fine.
Keep it.
But,
you know,
but
we got a minute.
Out,
we got a minute. All right, Brim. Take it over. A minute. Well, now it's got to be a minute and a half. But a minute and a half. Let us know what we're talking about. What's going on in Brim the Forever Man life, man? Talk about that sun surfer, whatever you want.
Keep it real clean. I'll keep it real clean and real quick. I appreciate you having me on. Yo, Loki, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you for allowing me, you know, to be able to express some views. Basically under my little MC name, Brenda Forever, man. I got a whole bunch of projects out. If you want to follow me on all social medias, all Brenda Forever, man. I'm the only one. As far as my personal real life, I'm starting a new speech therapy program that I got operated out of my therapy practice. I'm also trying to buy some new property, so I can start growing some food, growing my own vegetation, maybe, having some animals on my own. So I'm looking into doing that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm definitely looking into doing that. I'm also a life coach too, but I guess we'll leave that somewhere else. So I'm just continue to build. Oh, and also about this COVID-19 business, stay tight to your family. This is a good time to, get to know your peoples, get to know your kids, get to know your wife, and kind of like build a stronger bond, with your fam. And that's what I've been using this time too. I'm fortunate to be able to work from home and have like little, contact with people. But at the end of the day, the most important contact is your family. So make sure that's correct. Make sure you get that mental health need. As a therapist, we got telehealth. As a lot of people coming in, like looking for spiritual guidance, looking for mental guidance, looking for economic guidance, So get on your economic game. This is a real good time to get your money up, get your economics up, and do what you need, because when you have a little bit of money, these cats who have funny, you can sick your lawyer out on them and get their ass. These guys got licenses, and regardless of their racism or whatever, their licenses is bonded. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get your money game up, people will start treating you a little bit better. So, yeah, that's all I got for you.
Brim, and they can reach that anything, Brim the Forever Man, an inbox. They can talk to you about any of those subjects, correct?
Any and every last one of those subjects, I got you.
Boom. All right, cool. Blizz, let's talk about it. What we got?
Man, I got a couple of projects in the works right now. I got a joint out exclusive to YouTube. Go check me out, Blizz G. Talk about it, doing numbers still with Chicago Debo on some personal things. You know what I mean? I got the 608 stuff. We got masks, all kinds of shirts.
Keeping people safe, man.
Up. All the time, man. All the time. Got to evolve with the times, right? You know what I'm saying? And I just want to thank you, man, for the opportunity to come on here, man. And, let everybody else know I appreciated the debate, the conversation, the knowledge that was shared. You know what I mean?
Sir.
It's always good to hear different perspectives and where other people stand.
We don't have to argue and yell at each other, man, to get ideas across, man. And that's what I want to bring with this platform, man.
Absolutely, man.
All right, so the table switched up on me. Let's go to my man Oak Summers. What do you have going on in the pipeline? And if you got anything to say, you got it's about 2 to 3 minutes, but it's okay.
Only 45 seconds.
All right.
Once again, it's always a pleasure every time we do these things, Lo. You already know how we get out. Right now, as a matter of fact, in the next 30 minutes, I'll be finished up with our tolerology course. It's going to be called Tolerology Studies, which we teach heterosexual Black men how to actually operate as men instead of being enslaved in the matriarchy, so they can actually fight white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight your girl, then fight the world. So we want to help them with that. The precursor to the upcoming course we have on tribalism, in which we teach people how to create their culture and put their funds together. Because at the end of the day, man, everything that people do has to be funded. So normally that fund comes from Jewish community that doesn't really have an interest in anything but chaos, because chaos sells. So to fund ourselves and self-sustain ourselves is important. So those two things are coming up, but the tribal's coming later on today will be.
I just have to do this disclaimer. I am not an anti-Semite.
It's not anti-Semite.
Hey, I don't want to get. Hey.
No. It's not anti-Semite. No, it's not anti-Semite. It's follow the money. So whoever provides the money is your daddy. I got a daddy. He already get on my nerves.
Well, there's plenty of people. The Saudis will supply you too if they got some interest as well. You know what I mean? So But let's
So
continue. I
today,
don't even want to make that a point, man. I just want to put that out there, man. I know some fine Jewish people.
hey, like Tupac said, don't go to war until you get your money right. You can't ask for grant money then fight the people that gave you the grant. So you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's what we got going on, man. We got Tyler Rossi going on. We got the Notion Organic whole line of hygiene products, and that's about it.
Okay. And that can be found looking up Oak Summers or Notion Organic Products, correct?
Look up Oak Summers, we can look up Dirty Folks. We'll be running these YouTube commercials in a minute, so I'll be
Okay.
everywhere like Empire Carpet Man.
All right. Last but not least,
Hey,
my brother.
look.
Yes, sir.
Let me interject one thing, man. Let me shout you and Jizzo out, man, for the invite to the Shy City Cypher Volume 29. Y'all can check that out on YouTube too, man. Threw me off of my thing. I'm out.
All right, word. All right. Last but not least, let's talk to my brother, Shy City Cypher, CRN, all that good shit. Jizzo, what do you got to say to wrap this up, man?
My thoughts on your show really quick, man, is that it's a good concept that you got going, and if anybody was able to watch the first one, if not, go back and watch it. And there's a couple interesting plot twists that happen somewhere in the middle of that one. So it's really it's really interesting when you mix in, you're mixing in people with different views and from even different walks of life. And so, yeah, I like the show, man, because it at least opens up the conversation, and that's what we need is the conversation opened up.
Thank you.
So yeah, salute to you, man, and shout out to everybody that was on the show that did their thing and came through and expressed their views. And yeah, so we do the Shy City Cypher. I'm the host of the Shy City Cypher. You could check that out either on YouTube, or you could go to Instagram or Facebook and just look up Shy City Cypher on any one of those. Go watch all the volumes. We just dropped volume 29 about a week ago, so it's doing really good numbers. All the MCs on there killed it. Blizz G been on the Cypher, and we've been doing that me and Loke been doing that for a couple years now. So yeah, man, go check that out. If you guys know an MC, a producer, a clothing designer, a DJ.
I need my invite.
Yeah, if you guys know anybody pretty much in the whole realm of what we do, man, with this hip hop shit, send them my way, because we have a way to work with all of them, whether it's a producer sending in a beat, a MC getting on a cypher. We've had clothing designers. Yeah, we've had clothing designers that send us stuff so that we could represent for them, because it's not all about me just wearing Shy City Cypher gear each time too. Like to bring everybody in. And but yeah, man, do us a favor, go on there, subscribe to the YouTube, go on Instagram or on Facebook and just look up at Shy City Cypher, just all together. And yeah, man, show us some love on there, and I'll be tuned into the next show, Larry. Let me know.
All right, word. Thanks. And this is always an invite for any of my guests. I'd like to be able to bring you up on different topics. So let's keep that line of communication up for everybody. I hope everybody felt comfortable here, and we were able to speak candidly in regards to some issues. So thank you very much. Of course, signing out, it's your boy Larry, Loke. Check me out on platforms, LOKENHP. Check out the Cypher, Nuthouse Productions, Inc. We're out of here. Peace out. Good night. God bless you. Good evening. Good morning. Wherever you're at. We gone. Take this one.